Usually, when you set up the light for a video, you want the image to be clear and bright, right? You don't want any shadows, or at least not too many. But in movies, when they want to make the image more cinematic or dramatic, they do the opposite. They use light and dark to create contrast, with some parts of the scene light up and some parts in shadows. And not only that, they also place the camera on the shadowy side of the subject. I used to avoid windows or any strong light sources behind me because they would make me look like a silhouette on camera. But in movies, they don't care about that, and they use it a lot. Let me show you what I mean by that. I looked at some movie stills and see how they use this technique. In Hollywood, it's common to position the camera on the darker side of the object being filmed. In this case, you can see that the camera is on the shadowy side of her face, which is this side. You can see how this side of her face is lit up and this side is not. They are filming her against a bright light source, which is on this side. As a result, she appears somewhat silhouetted. What's more, and I hope I can make myself clear, the camera is positioned on the side without the light. In other words, it's on the opposite side of the light, in the dark. Similarly, here, the camera is situated opposite the light. Sometimes they have the character in silhouette and they don't mind that. I think that's pretty cool. Silhouette, silhouette, silhouette. Light, dark, dark. You get it? The person you are filming does not always has to be well lit. When you have light and dark areas, it looks more cinematic. The camera is on the dark side of the face right here. The camera is on this side. Silhouettes, silhouettes. The dark side is here and it's much clearer, and the camera is on this side. This is the dark and lit side. The camera is always on the dark side of the line. Of course, this doesn't mean that they use this lighting in every movie and every shot, and especially this is for when you want the scene to be more dramatic or cinematic. For example, if I'm going to shoot a video here in this studio, I obviously want my face and the background to be well lit, right? That's what I usually do. Normally, I would put the camera on this side, next to this window, and I would have the light from the window on me, and that's fine. But what if I wanted to have more cinematic lighting? Well, I could switch the camera and put it on this side. Let's see how it looks. I would be on this side where the light is brighter, and let's see, I can even adjust it here so the image doesn't look too blown out behind me, like this. So it doesn't look too bright behind me, but I'm still pretty dark, right? We need to fix that. So what we can do is add a little bit of light here. The camera is on the dark side, right? The light is strong here, and my face is lit up from this side, this side. The camera is on the opposite side, on the dark side. For example, I tried this in another place when I was between the camera and the window, and I didn't use any extra light, and it looked pretty cool. On this side, I was facing the window and it looked okay, but kind of flat. But when I switched to the other side, where the light was behind me, it looked much more cinematic. And this is the most extreme example. I was almost in silhouette, and the image looked really interesting. With this simple change, the image looks much more cinematic. But I think you can start using this in your short films and videos in general to make your lighting more interesting. The idea is not to be afraid of shadow areas in your image and play with them. And the other thing is to not be afraid of silhouettes for some shots that you want to make more dramatic. It's okay to have your subject in silhouette sometimes. Of course, you need to add some light to make sure you can see their face and their eyes and they don't look completely black. In some shots, you might want that effect. And the other thing is to have the camera on the dark side of the face, not on the bright side, like here, more or less. That makes the shots more interesting. But hey, just experiment. Try this technique of using silhouettes and let me know in the comments if you have done it. And if you like this content, don't forget to subscribe to this channel, and you need to watch this other video because you're gonna love it. My name is Reynaldo Cantu, and I'll see you in the next Rebel Filmmakers video.
Reynaldo prepared this excellent piece that you should see next.